The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.
Greetings, my followers, boy Mechanical, and today we're going to recap my last events. A big turn of events. Last Saturday, I became the national champion of street lifting in the 87 kilogram category. Yes.
Thank you.
Just the word can express how excited I am. Despite me having the personality of not showing any type of emotion, whether it's sadness or overjoyment, I'm just usually mellow and pretty steady going. But yeah, I am really excited because it's been so long coming. In between injuries, strain, so many times, everything seems to be going well, and then something happens again. Going back on drawing boards, trying to reassess things. Yeah, you really need to be about that life to keep going. Because one thing is right to still hang in there, and another thing is to get back to the level that you need to be before you can even rise above, rise to the ranks of the very advanced, and then rise above them to be able to put your stamp, on it. But yeah, mentally it was very taxing, I would say. But yeah, I know that at some point I will find my strides and I will be able to do what I did today. It happened. Despite it all, I came in and the goal was to actually hit certain numbers and then graduate from those numbers that I've been planning to hit for the longest, and then move on to the next chapter, and which I did, and even more, I did it outstandingly. And it's a great feeling, man, because no matter how good your preparation is, you just never know how it's gonna be that day, right? And being in a territory that you never explored, it's always sometimes second guessing things, wondering if things gonna be right. And it turns out everything went right, and beyond, I won't say beyond expectation, but it's pretty close to that. But I did expect it. that's that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have tried those. Yeah. 6 months ago, I took part in my first national championship, but it was more of a classic format with the pull up and with the dip. And at the end of the last recap, I announced that 6 months ahead there will be a 4-event format, the full format, which is the international format, meaning based on the stats aggregated in the 4 format, we can objectively compare ourselves to our international peers. And that's that. Without further ado, we're gonna dive into the breakdown of how the competition went. It took place in Columbia, Maryland, on in May 18th, 2024. That said, we started with the MuscleUp, and mind you, I wasn't even aware that the event had started, because my group passed in the afternoon after the lunch break, right? And we were supposed to come down like after 45 minutes, right, of a break. And my understanding was that we will come back on that mark and have time to warm up before we can start the events, which was not the case. They actually means that the event will start at that mark after the 45 minutes, which I think I misunderstood because I went in my car, just shut everything down, trying to get a meditation mode, trying to get to calm my heart rate down because the adrenaline, the excitement was building up. But come to find out, after the 45 minutes when I got in, people already started performing. So I barely had time to step in, put my shoes on, and then I was called to perform. So no warm up, and I went straight for my first attempt at the muscle up, which I chose 10 kilograms to start with, and that's how it went.
Up next, we're going to go to the minus 7 now. We got God throwing the animal with 10 kg.
That's wild. That's wild.
That one on the platform.
I was like,
Ira, where you from?
originally?
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Where you coming from?
Sarasota, Florida.
Nice. I've been there. Against the beach and all that. Yeah. Crazy. Let's go, Matt. Let's go, Matt. There we go.
Fourth minute for Rosemary.
So obviously, as expected, it went pretty well. Everything flew, you know. I didn't really worry that I didn't have time to warm up. It was like, it is what it is. It's a lighter load. So the interesting part is during the preparation, I have not touched anything more than 12.5 kilograms. Most of my preparation has been done in 10 kilogram average on the north side of it. So my heaviest muscle up has been on average 10 kilogram during the prep. You know, I built some substantial volume with body weight a few months prior, but just so that because my body gets so taxed very easily with the weighted muscle up, the strategy has been to keep it around half or 60% of the most of my full capacity, you know, and then build around that and kind of cruise with it for the right moment to pull the trigger. And clearly it felt pretty good on that first attempt. My end goal was to go on the 20 kilogram on my last attempt, right? And last time I touched 20 kilogram, like 45 pound, was 9 months ago, like sometime in July or something like that of last year. So it had been a long time, and even then it wasn't really a clean form, right? It was by a respectable metric, it would have been a repetition, but the shoulders were not really even when the transition happened. So it was me having to blindly go on the fact that the prep has been done very well to go for that 20 on third attempt without even getting anywhere near the load itself. So that was interesting. And then on the second attempt, I went for 15 kilogram. This is how it went.
All right, go to the platform now. President forgot to
15 kilogram went pretty well. One thing I have to mention also is the command, right? Command is something new. On the first competition that I took part in, we didn't have to follow strict command, right? To dismount the box, to mount the box, to weight this and that. So one thing we have to mention here is that anytime you have a muscle up and you reach the top of the bar, you have to wait for the command for the head judge to give you, for you to dismount, for your rep to be validated. And what happened is that, yeah, so far everything has gone well. And fast forward to my third attempt on the muscle up. Again, I was just mentioning what led up to that. In the past 9 months, I haven't touched anything close to that. I had faith it will be fine because I've worked hard and I've gotten so good. My form, my power was there. I just hadn't explored that zone yet. So come to test the 20 kilogram and it flew so fast, right? I guess the excitement clouded my focus, my sense of judgment to stay on top of the bar and wait for the judge to give me the command to come down. And this is what happened.
All right, John Ford, you're up next.
That kind of makes me mad because that kind of makes me mad because that means in my division I would have muscles, but I would just follow the command.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's this game. That's all I'm looking.
That was crazy. Nah, I contact. Let's go, man. Come on! It's homework! It's homework! Woo!
Well, you're going to make a good job this afternoon.
I mean, my 6-year-old and I'm used to this now. I got this. This is like the hardest command shit because all the other reps are just saying no, and you know what I mean? This is the only one we have.
Yes, no repetition, man. It's so crazy. I was all excited, got up there, you know. The setup with the box and everything was really not ideal anyway from the get-go, so had to tippy-toe. The weight was a little too low on my feet, I would say, but that was not the problem. Regardless, I know I had the power as I managed to get off the box, pull the trigger. It went so fast up there, day and night compared to 9 months ago. Then again, the comparison is just because I haven't touched anything like that in so long. So yeah, the muscle up has been one of these things where anything that's pulled, I had to really grind hard to get my my power to adapt to the weight, the body weight itself, let alone adding extra load. So it was it was bittersweet, sweet that it was so easy. I felt like I have like 10 more pounds in me, a good 5 kilogram more I could have done. So that's good for the future, it tells me. And it was better because, man, that was supposed to be my I would say my greatest achievement at that point. All of a sudden, leave me with a bitter taste because it's not validated. So I'm happy that I had the power for it, but obviously I would have loved to have had 5 more points, because as of now, the only muscle up that's going to be validated is the 15 kg. So I'm on a deficit of 5 points already from the beginning, from the first event, and that's not fun at all. But again, deep inside I was happy because I had it. In my book, it's all white flag, you know, because the hard part has been done. I just had to wait up there and wait for the command to come down. But the rules are the rules. The rules are harsh, but they are the rules. I think it's dura less, sed less in Latin. That's the quote. So that's that. So muscle up is done. We are on to the pull-up event, and with the pull-up we started with the first attempt for me would have been a 60 kilogram. That's about 10 kilogram more than the 50 kilogram of my first event, my first attempt on the last event. You know, clearly I've gotten stronger. I've had a better prep this time, much less of a biceps inhibition, which has not been in existence. At some point during my prep and the week before last also, when I reached a threshold, my biceps had kind of bothered me, but I was able to put it under control. So the bicep has not been really worried this time during this event. So we went for the first event. For the first attempt of my pull up. This time I switched up to the chin up. You know, after last competition, my coach suggested me that I should try maybe a chin up and see if I would happen to have a better consistency when it comes to performance, because the pull has not been consistent as much. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so great. When I'm fatigued, and I just go from 100% or 90% performance to about 60% easily, and I will stay in that lower range of force production for a while before I feel good again to be able to produce more force faster. But I've noticed that with the chin up, it can be a little more consistent and reliable. So I'm gonna stick to that for a while and see how much I can squeeze out of it. Meanwhile, obviously, the biggest bulk of the training itself is done with the normal grip pull, and I just specialize in the chin up when I get close to competition or to find out great loads achievement to switch up, because the sustainability on the biceps for a long period of time is not really the best idea to go with. So you need to know how to undulate it and how to periodize those shift between chin and pull in order not to sustain some type of tendonitis in the elbow. So that's that. This is how the first attempt of the chin up went.
Next is 60 kg. 60 kg. All right, God boys, you may arrive to the platform. Good. Next is 75. they enter the platform.
So yes, the first attempt flew. It flew so fast, the bottom of my chin on the bar. I'm like, yes, today, yeah, the pulling is feeling great. It's feeling great. Obviously, I could have tried like a chest to bar to show off, but again, it's all about performing the right amount and just get the job done. No need to show off or anything. Just I pull as high and safe as I could. That would have not affected my subsequent performances, the second and third attempt, which are more important than the first one. The first is more like an introductory what you call performance to mark yourself in the book and make sure that you're not disqualified. So that went, and this is how the second attempt went.
2.5. So it's 138. Huh? They're doing 65. This is the second attempt, I think. For my third attempt. What you just doing? Your third attempt? What you just do? Do that. 62.9. What's your rep?
Alright, got forward and then right after the platform.
How many? 1, 2 of these. Come on. What was that you just did? You just did 125. I just did 55 kg. You gotta explode. Like when it's time to like. Let's go. When it's time to like. Let's go, man. Hey, get up there. I ain't go. Too easy. Let's go. Woo! Let's go.
Good. 85.
See how I like sit back a little bit, and then as I come up, I'll come a little bit closer to the bar. My pull form is off right now. That's not a good thing. But what you want to do is,
The second attempt, as you can see, solid. It felt good, you know. I was able to get my chin well above the ball. Had like a hook, like a second worth of pause before I went down, and it was 70 kilogram. And the way I knew I would get that 80, the last one, is that the way that 71 went compared to a few days before, when I was trying the 80 kilogram and kind of miss it. The 70 that day or 72 that day was kind of cumbersome, and it was due to fatigue clearly. But again, it cannot really help but being a little disappointed when everything doesn't go the way you want it during the prep. But you just have to have faith in the process and know that when it counts, you will do the job, you get the job done. So 70 flew like anything, sturdy, solid. So I didn't really have any worry about how the third attempt will be, and this is how the third attempt went.
so he got
Alright, got forward and then right after the platform.
he got to put his panties on. Get up there! Let's go! Eat!
kgs.
Wake up! Wake up!
90. Heaviest pull today.
Yes, the third attempt, 80 fucking freaking kilogram, man. It's been so long coming. Yes, it's been great, man. It's been great. Such a way of expressing domination over the load. I was locked in, fired by the frustration of the 20 kilogram muscle up that was not given to me. I mean, duly, of course. But I'm like, yeah, this, I'm gonna have to make that statement. And so much more rewarding because 4 days before, like I said, during the preparation, right, I was supposed to get a cluster of 80 kilogram and I barely had the first one. The first was not, it's a no rep, right? I couldn't get my chin to the bar. I had to reach for it and barely touched it. And so I knew that that upset was a no-no. So you can now only imagine that, okay, all that work leading to that day, the last heavy workout of the preparation, and you're like, all right, fatigue is there, the strength is there, with just a bit of recovery you will be fine. But you're just extrapolating, you're just anticipating stuff, you just don't know, right? Again, that's where having a coach that knows how it's done, that knows that's been there, it can come handy. I just trust the process, you know, it's gonna be fine. And you can see it like here on the footage of the 80 kilogram. I couldn't have it. That was just 4 days before, on that Tuesday leading to the Saturday competition. And I had 3 days of full recovery. All that 3 days made all the difference. It's amazing, day and night. You know, one thing is just to pull and have like, okay, you struggle and you put it up there and then you dump it. I would pull it there, kind of pause it there, so like, yes, I got this weight, and I went down. Amazing feeling, man. Amazing feeling, beyond expectation. That I'll have to tell you that. I expected to do it, but I didn't expect it to pull and dominate the load as I did. And that's probably arguably my best training achievement ever in my life, because I've been chasing that load for a long time, and I mean by competition standard, because I've done 80 kilogram or 82.5, 180 pound, like 4 plates. I mean, we've all to a certain extent tried 4 plates, but it was janky, ugly, like it was never there. I never had the ability to fully lead a clean, sturdy repetition to the end, let alone having my chin well above and pause for a little bit. It's amazing, man. Hard work pays off, man. And that just opened up a new found hope of rising above whatever ranks I ever believe I will rise above and conquer elitism. It's just that's the mind, that's the state of mind as of right now. So that's that, man. I'm gonna just stop rambling because I couldn't just help. That was just great. That 80 kilogram pull, it was great. I know the muscle flew, but this was great, amazing. Even if I'm not jumping and rolling, know that deep inside in here in my heart, it's like, yes, all your work paid off. So that's that. Pool events is over. I made sure that I nailed all my attempts, white flag, and I'm good to go to the next event. That's the dip. Then the dip started. Dip was pretty much one of my strongest movement, but due to the fact that I've had some shoulder strain here. Like last event, I was supposed to be doing great, and on my last heavy workout, the prep, on my backup set, I strained my shoulder. So as a result, I couldn't really dip, on my competition in December. I wanted to part of myself because my pull was so ahead of the competition that I was able just to match the very little amount of dip that I could on the first attempt, and I waited to see the competition now reaching or catching up to the lead, and I was able to win. So that was a failure on my behalf in terms of dip, last competition. So this time I didn't even really put too much faith in it. For me, it was to come and do what I planned to do last time 6 months ago. And prep has not been so great. It has not been bad either. One thing I knew is that my strain was over. It was good because it hadn't bothered me on a high threshold load. It hasn't bothered me, but it just felt sometimes heavy. Certain load felt heavier than it was supposed to feel. Kind of get a little recovery week even while peaking, and then hoping to just keep cruising ahead and then hit a certain load right before competition and know that okay, my strength is within that range. With good recovery, I was supposed to be able to hit those numbers, and the goal was to hit 110 kilogram right by the third attempt, and that would have been some that I would have achieved 6 months ago if everything went well. Could possibly go further up, 115, but for me, because I've been stuck so much around 100 kilogram, like the 5 plates only, for many years, right? I had the strength for more than that, but because of the bad events in the past 2 years, I couldn't really put a nail on the coffin and be like, okay, I mastered this load, let me move to the next chapter. So I had to hit without 110, like that's a 5 plate and a half, to be able to next time move on from there. So if I had gone more than that and I failed, then I don't even know if I had that 110. So as much as I felt good, I wanted to do more, I had to force my ego to just stick to the game plan. And this is how the first attempt went.
Next is 95.
So the first attempt went well. It was only 90 kilogram. Flew like nothing. Easy. Again, first is always a way to get into the game, and the next one is where you kind of make a statement.
Please arrive to the platform. 100 kilos. Good leg.
Second attempt, great, 100 kilogram on something that's a pretty. By the way, when the speed is one of the greatest achievement as well. You know, I've done 100 kilograms so many times, very many times, but I have not dominated as much as I did now. And during the prep, I had done that for 2 repetitions. It felt a lot heavier than it felt during competition. Recovery will do that to you. It's amazing. And I didn't have much worry about the dip anyway, because I didn't have any great expectation out of it. I didn't bank much into it. My goal is just to bring back my normal state so I can finally graduate from this state of misery that has been plaguing me for the past 2 years or so. And yeah, so 100 went pretty fast, and yeah, it was good sign that 110 would definitely would have been no problem. So this is how the third and last attempt went on the 110 kilogram.
Alright, John Ford, please go on to the platform, 110 kilos.
There we are, third attempt, 110. It went pretty fast. I could argue that I had 5 more kilograms in me, be able to do a 115 kg, but I'm very happy that I stuck to that, because again, if I had done more and I missed it, I wouldn't have known whether I really have a 110, right? And that would have been another shade of gray that I will have to deal with during my training and preparation, because I would not have known whether it's something that was there. And based on my training and programming on, now that the 110 has been closed, is that chapter will be left behind, because I've done 110 in training, and again probably 8-9 months ago, and it was barely it was barely parallel, right? It was supposed to be a PR, so I was so excited that I didn't really want to be buried. I just went limits to the parallel, and I gone back up. So even then, it's something that even though I've done it, I have not done that so cleanly, let alone my competition standard. And there we are, I did it, 110 fast, like, because I didn't really stall on the sticking point. So yes, I definitely had more in me, but I was good. I was happy to just go and get the job done. All white flag. Now we can move on to the squats. Now down to the squats. Squats. Obviously one of my strongest points supposedly, but in the past 2 years, a year and a half, I had in my quad incidents in November, end November 2022. So it's been well over a year and a half, going 2 years now, that I have not been able to squat. And then that quad event has injury has lasted for about 4 or 5 months before I saw somebody who after testing myself told me, oh, by the way, based on the symptom and everything that you have, you might be dealing with some disc herniation, something I never knew I had, right? And yeah, he gave me just few drills to do, and that quad pain went away. Something that I've been dealing with for 4 months, thinking that I've had some injury that was not going. So that's already 5 months that I've wasted not being able to train into my full potential. And then after that, yeah, he told me that must be the disc that actually caused the quad to suffer whatever had happened during the incident. And then when everything has seemed to be well, and then the following week something happened, I pulled my lower back, and that was the beginning of series of strain after strain after strain. Regardless of how meticulous I was, something always happened. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on rehabilitating this thing. Discs, they take a long time to heal, so I'm just gonna take it up on myself to be very patient. Whether it take a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I'm just gonna make sure that I heal it, and then when it's time to go, I'll go. And so I didn't have any expectation with the squat. And I mean, funny enough, I focused more on the front squat to build power and kept the intensity very low on the back squat, so I didn't put so much of strain, on the spine unnecessarily. So again, I had not put anything on my back that's above 150 kilograms. That's about 330 pounds. I didn't put anything about 330 pounds in the past, year and a half or so. So the goal was to hit 180 at the very maximum in competition, and then know that okay, we're back in business, so that we can move on from there. But because of how things turned in the past 3 events, I had the opening to win, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, 180 being what I planned, I will have to do more than that to make sure that I put a nail in the coffin. That means I will have to slide into even more uncharted territory. I know I had the ability for 190, even for 200, based on my prep performance. But those are loads that I have not. Those are just extrapolation. One thing is my spine, would it be able to handle such load? But the adrenaline, the focus of winning, everything came to place, and I'm like, okay, let's go, let's get it done. So I was gonna skip my mid attempt and go straight to my third attempt on the second attempt. That was the goal. That's the only way I could scale my final attempt plan to 190 kilogram by the third attempt. And this is how the first attempt went, 160 kilograms.
Joshua, please arrive to the barbell.
Let's go, man! E! Let's go, man! E! Up!
Good man.
First attempt went well, remained tight, very fast. So again, even 160, right? Technically, that's the first time I put something as heavy on my back in a very long time. And on the next attempt, the second attempt, I was gonna go for what I planned for my third attempt, right? Because the goal was all of a sudden I have an opening to win, and this is what I have to do. So I went from 160 to 180 instead of 170 that I previously planned, and this is how the 180 went.
All right, Joshua, please rise to the barbell. 180 kilos.
This is how the 180 went. Pretty solid, pretty sturdy. I have not really seen much of a sticking point, because that was the goal, be as explosive as I could. And obviously I'm used to the high bar, that's what I do. Maybe in the future I can contemplate the low bar, but again, for the least application of shear force, that might deteriorate any type of healing that has been ongoing on my disc. I'd rather stick to the high bar for as long as I can to optimize my long-term recovery. And after 180, it was time to go for the 190. The goal was, okay, I already had all my numbers by the second attempt, third attempt, whether it goes or not is good. But it was in my best interest to hit it, so I know sure I make sure that with that I can guarantee the victory. If I had not hit it, I probably would have come up tight, at best, no, at worst tight, or my competition might just get ahead of me by 2.5, because I didn't know what he was gonna go for his third attempt. But I had to go for that one. I even entertained the idea of 185, because I'm like, okay, 185 is more likely achievable without creating anything on my anything on my lower back, because again, my goal was do it as safely as I can so I can continue training after that competition in order to keep escalating. So the squeeze not being worth the juice, I didn't want to go for that, you know. I mean, fuck the win if it was gonna set me back another 6 months of training. So I'm like, yeah, 190, I think I could have gotten it. And yeah, he clearly I won, right? So here is how the third attempt went.
God forward, please go out to the barbell. Let's go.
Yes, I got that third attempt. Yeah, I had a sticky point, so I was right. I definitely know what I was capable of. I know I could do it, but as you can see, I had to plow through that sticking point up there in order to rise, you know. Yeah, I even felt like my upper back was gonna collapse. I'm like, nah, keep that upper back high up there and just keep pushing through. And it happened. I had 190 and I knew that 100% I was gonna win. Like, chances of me losing was like almost 0%, you know. Obviously the competition could have gone for close to what I did, and then it would be no game for me. But given the series of events that has preceded it, I knew that the chances are close to zero that was gonna happen, and I did my job, and that guaranteed me the win. So this is how I ended up being a national champion. Can you imagine? Mechanical, a national champion.
Alright, and in first place. In third place, Pullup and squat and a total of 395. We have Garfo and Ali Arena. With the set. Ladies and gentlemen, the men's minus 87 kilo winners. Nice job, guys. Congratulations. And now finally, of course, we have.
It's so funny, man. I mean, it feels good to actually imprint your name in history, right? For something specific that you work at, you specialize at, and became the best at some point as in time, right? It's good because obviously for those who've followed me for so many years, people know that I'm good, right? I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm kind of a jack of all trade, and I can do this, I can do that at very high level. But actually, after that, in the world that we live in, unfortunately, people only give you recognition when you have a title, and my humility really doesn't what you call 'em, doesn't doesn't put an urgency on me to accomplish, to be known for specifically something. But as I get older, I'm like, well, what would my legacy be like, right? Because I consider myself an athlete, and what could I do to be recognized, to have some recognition in something. That's when I decided 2 years ago to focus on street lifting and actually put all my eggs into it in the basket and see how far I would go. And when my journey started, it was just injury after injuries, and sometimes you second guess yourself. You're like, what the fuck am I going? What's going on? Is it? Has my body reached a point where the frame can't just handle it anymore? I'm not getting any younger, so you start getting your head. Obviously, I had the grits. I believe highly, strongly in my work ethic, but sometimes it's part of your work ethic. Sometimes when the biology doesn't allow it, you just keep floating into unknown territory. In spite of all that, man, I made it. Everything aligned when it mattered. I kept focused. I even named my comeback as Bane Rising, right? You know how Bane was stuck in the darkness in Dark Knight movie, the Gotham villain. But yeah, Bane, that's that. Like, I was just in the darkness, bloomed in the darkness, not seeing the light above. Above or in the horizon at the end of the tunnel. But I kept going, and finally, in the last 3 weeks, I saw a shade of light coming in. And finally, during the competition, everything aligned, all the work, man. When people tell you how work pays, even I have preached that. It pays off, man. It paid off, because the goal was just to get the homework, numbers, hit the numbers, and that's it. Not even worrying about any title. And I end up winning a title against the best street lifter in America, because whoever I beat was the holder of the national record of Pullup, and almost matched the national record of dips. So he's the greatest contender that I could have possibly gone against, and I just did I performed on the A+ level, and he performed probably on his B+ or B. Probably had some red flags. I did have some red flag as well, and with the pressure of the competition, everything just went how it was supposed to go, and I prevailed. So I'm very, very happy. So it's a win that in years to come, nobody will ever dare tell me that it was an easy win. It was great competition, and I'd like to thank my bro Miguel, man, for giving me the focus and drive to kind of push myself on that last event of squats. Because if it wasn't for him, I probably would have just gone and just get my 180 cool and go home. So that's that. Thank you guys for watching my breakdown of how things went, and I hope you guys like this format. I'm not sure how long it will turn out to be. I'll try to edit it to the smallest version I can, but by the end of watching the whole thing, I'm sure you would have immersed yourself in my world, and the emotion that I went through my whole self during the events, the first ever 4 events format of the street lifting as a national championship in America. In 3 months, 11 weeks exactly, I'm gonna be participating in the classic version, only 2 events, weighted pull-up and weighted dip, to close the season. And hopefully I can squeeze more kilogram and add to my previous performances in order to finish this year season and then get back to the grinding to the grind for next year competitions. So yes, I'm excited, I'm happy, very very happy. Healthy family, beautiful family, ever growing business. I'm thankful for all my fellow warriors who entrust me in training them and changing their lives. And obviously my coaching business has been going up as well, especially with the new street lifting venue, because I've coached already 2 people, one in December that won his 73 kilogram championship, and coached another one that placed second on the minus 66 kilograms. So yeah, your boy Mikamo is the real deal, as much as an athlete as it is as a coach. And I strongly believe I'm actually a better coach than an athlete, because I will vicariously live through the talents that I'm gonna acquire in the future in order to push them beyond performances that I would never think achievable by myself. So that's that. Years of gathering data and having gone through the hardest path to greatness. Yes, I think I'm one of those. Every single thing I've accomplished pretty much in my life in other field, I had to go through trial and tribulation in order to achieve the most basic stuff. And even though being a national champ is not a basic stuff, I would assume that based on how much work I put in, I was already due that, right? But it's just like sometimes you just have to keep going. Nobody will do it for you. So that's another way to confirm that anything can be achieved if you put your mind in it and you go 100% for what you want. Because if you really want it, you won't know until you give your everything in that field. And it might work, it might not work, but you won't figure out until you try. Everything is and will always be the Mechanimal way. A 7 kilogram national champion, Mechanimal, signing out. The devil breaking in.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.